Grab your beverages and turn up your interweb. Solving the world's problems 12 ounces at a time. It's Dudes and Beer. Well, hello everybody, and welcome to episode 137. Episode 137 of the Dudes and Beer podcast. Still blows my mind that we have come so far in the amount of time that we have between live shows, things like that. That's one of the things I am thankful for in this very happy Thanksgiving episode of the Dudes and Beer podcast. Hey everybody, I am Chris Jordan, your host. With me, as not always, is my wife, Amy Jordan, host of the Yes But Why podcast.
Hello.
Dalbus is asleep in the other room. We're here at my mom's house, and Katie, Brenda's in the background. My niece, Megan, has joined the table of conversation today for Thanksgiving. So, yeah, I mean, let's just get into it. Like, I love my podcast. That's one of the things I am more than thankful for in life. It's given me a real platform to talk about a lot of things that I think are important in the world. And one of them I'd like to talk about today is Black Friday. Whenever we get to that,
you're thankful for Black Friday?
No. But one of the things that I'd like to talk about, because I'm thankful that I have a platform to talk. I'm thankful that I've only been silenced by the interwebs a couple times. Only been censored a couple times in a few countries, things like that. So, yeah, it's been great. What are you thankful for? I'm also thankful for my wife and my baby. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
I tell you that like every day.
He steals mine. Like as soon as he's like throws it to me, then takes it quickly away.
That's right, snatch.
All I've got
it's for me.
All I've got is that baby. So no, I'm
the cat is out of the bag.
Thankful.
Damn.
I'm thankful for that tiny gentleman we call our baby, and for being with you. Lots of fun trips lately and in the future. I'm excited for that. I'm excited for the fact that we're traveling and having fun adventures. That's a good time.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for the projects that I work on, the neighborhood and the Yes But Why podcast and all that. But I have a pretty good life. You're nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I try.
It's good. It shows.
I try, really. I mean, I try to support you in everything that you do because you support me in my crazy ideas. Like, good God, I remember it was coming back from a holiday. I want to say it was your birthday, as a matter of fact. We came here for your birthday. It is. Her birthday is July 5th. So,
right. So
we were here for July 4th.
Weekend.
Yeah.
Firecrackers hit. Your mom knew it was time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the Boston Pops. It's the annual story. It's a good time.
So
some harebrained idea happened.
Yeah. It was on the way home that I was like, I have this idea for a talk show.
Oh.
Like I have an idea, and I don't know what maybe I'll just call it something simple like Dudes and Beer beats me. But
as I was saying earlier, and I'll bring up again, I like the way that you're always telling people that I'm like allowing you to do these things and that I'm like super supportive of stuff, when in reality it's mostly like boxes arrive at the door and you go, oh yeah, so listen, I bought this thing, it's so cool, and then I'm like, all right, I guess. I mean, it's here now, so
there is a method to the madness.
Sure.
There is a method to the madness.
I saw a doormat that said hide packages from husband.
Yeah. Please.
I wish I was the one buying all the stuff. I wish.
You get some of the stuff.
Yeah.
You get stuff.
I get like a tiny
box.
I get a huge box with a tiny thing in it.
You got
I love
a computer.
That. Last week he got a package and it was like a connector from one thing to another. It was like, couldn't have been more than a 2-inch wire or whatever.
Yeah.
In a box that could have held
lampoonishly large.
Like could have had like a floor lamp in it.
Like
so big.
Literally.
It could have been.
It was this like look at the size of the cabinet right there.
Yeah,
like it was half the size of that.
Protect it at all
costs.
costs.
It was literally like, here's my cable.
I go, oh, babe, they didn't put everything in this box. And he's like, no, that's all that was supposed to be there.
Oh,
What?
man.
It was
In warehouses.
somebody at the Amazon warehouse was just having a bored heck of a day and was like, you know what, man? I'm just going to put everything in the most oblong, awkward box in the world.
This is going to make someone's day.
Yeah,
Or
here's
it's
your
like-
hat box for your hairbands.
Or it's like
you know?
Tony in the irregular box department
Yeah.
who like never gets to rap, and he's like, "Hey guys,
I
can
wonder
just
if that's
help
part
rap
of.
a couple times?"
I wonder if
And
that's
I'm
like
I
part of
guess.
their inclusion efforts or something. You know, it's like this guy doesn't really know like the difference between small boxes and big
Well, I
boxes,
didn't mean like the man
and
had
can't
an
like.
efficiency. I meant like the warehouse happened to have an act like people somehow had returned things in weird boxes, and they were like, "Well, we're not going to throw them away. We could use them."
Yeah.
And so then they give them back to us. But
Hey,
they're all weird.
recycle.
Yeah. Well, and what are you thankful for, Megan, as a young lady striking it out on her own in the world?
Yeah, I'm thankful for that. Thankful for job opportunities to let me get to where I'm at in my life, being able to venture out, support myself.
Yeah.
And what's that like? Like
Oh,
some people, because
I
some
wanna
people
rip my
forget.
hair out, but
Some people forget what it's like. Quite honestly.
I'm waiting for my hair to fall out from stress, but it's worth it at the end
Yeah.
of the day.
Yeah, it is.
And then the alarm goes off, and I'm like, all right, let's try this again.
Yeah.
I'm
one more
grateful
time.
for it.
Well, it is just like hair maintenance. It is a wash, rinse, repeat process.
It is.
Once you get things going.
It is.
Well, I think the joy for me is that you do change, like, you know, what your job is or what your focus is every couple of years. So it's not always so like horrible, the grind, and also like the toughest parts are the parts where you're like figuring it out. It's later when you're like, well, I've gotten chiller about it, where I'm all like, you know what? So they don't get paid. I've learned from the past they don't get mad, so we're cool.
Yeah.
Like just little things where it's like I know how to figure things out or rearrange this, or like, yeah, you know, sometimes they take your car. But, you know.
I'll probably have that happen soon. There's so many towing signs around where I'm about to move to.
That's true, there
can't-
are. Watch
I can't
that.
wait for the morning I wake up, my car's just gone.
No,
I have
no.
that secret little fund
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
to bust it out of car jail.
Yeah. Keep you like $150 in like your copy of Little Women or something. Up
Yeah,
on there.
right? Little Women.
I don't know. What books do women have like on
a
their
daring
shelf all
book
the time?
for girls.
Okay.
Yeah, Little Women.
I don't know. Like I had a copy of Huck Finn. I think I read like chapter
Edgar
up to
Allan
chapter
Poe.
10. That's right. You have my Edgar Allan Poe.
I
book.
do.
That's nice. Yeah.
I still have it.
Good,
I
I'm glad
reread
you-
it for Halloween this
Nice,
past year.
nice.
Yeah.
What's your favorite?
Aw.
What's your favorite out of it?
I don't know. Just favorite line though. Eleanor.
Yes.
Nevermore.
Yes.
And like me and my friend, we actually rehearsed reading it to each other. So we did a
Oh.
little skit this past Halloween.
Awesome.
With
Nice.
that one,
Do you dress up all like Azrael from like
No.
Yeah.
No, but we could have
Azrael
imagined it.
Nightshade? Yeah.
Oh man, that's awesome. Now
Go
I
all
want to
goth.
make people do that for next Halloween.
Oh,
Read
yeah,
Edgar
Everybody,
fun.
a goth
Everybody's
Halloween.
reading, and no, the Edgar Allan Poe stuff. Like
Yeah.
that'd be super fun. Like,
Yeah, it would.
to have.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Oh,
it's
dude, you
on
could
it.
make a whole series of sketches based around Edgar Allan Poe stories.
Write that
Like
down, Patrick.
the fall of the house. You could do like the fall of the House of Usher. You know, you
I
could.
sound like I have an assistant.
Yeah. You know.
Come on, Soph.
Yeah, you should be tuned in, Patrick. You should come be on this show. You would enjoy Dudes and Beer. For me, El Dorado.
Ooh.
El Dorado is probably my favorite work by Edgar Allan Poe. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful poem about this man just questing forever for something that he will never find, but he knows he'll never find it at the same time. Like he knows that like he's on a quest for something that he may never see the end of, but he's okay with that because he's searching for something.
That's me waiting for food today.
Yeah. Hey, you're cold as ice, girl.
It's cooking. It's cooking.
Speaking of which, we have forgone and saved the turkey this
We
Thanksgiving,
did.
everybody. Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
sorry, I
yes.
didn't really, I was busy cooking, so I didn't really have time to download a turkey sound effect to throw into the
What do
soundboard
you mean?
over
That
here.
noise that just happened wasn't a sound effect? Hang on.
But,
Just like one.
yeah, we've got a spiral cut ham going, and I've got some rabbit and venison gumbo that we're cooking
so we
up.
didn't kill the turkeys, but we killed the rest.
That's right. We did kill 2 other beautiful animals of the wood for our meal
It's
today.
okay, I'm not like vegetarian or whatever.
No.
You're not.
My favorite Edgar Allan Poe thing, I believe it's the Telltale Heart.
Yes.
Where you can hear the
beating
heartbeat,
of that infernal heart.
right? Because he's in the. That's the same one that's the wall one, right?
No.
They put him in the wall. What's
No.
that one?
That is the Cask of Amontillado.
No, that's not that one.
No, it's not. The Telltale Heart and the Cask of Amontillado are 2 different stories.
No, I believe you, but I don't know. Whatever. No.
Michael Davis,
No,
actually,
you
our
do.
guest recently, not just on Dudes and Beer, but on Dads and Beer, did a great adaptation of the Cask of Amontillado
Nice.
for his senior project at UD.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, it was really, really well done. A great stage adaptation.
Huh.
It's fantastic.
I definitely.
I don't even know if
see
he still has a copy of it. He better, though. I'd like to get one.
Can't get rid of those.
Well, I mean, it's like your senior thesis, you know? Like, you adapted a short story into a play. Like, that's pretty cool.
I don't have any of my old stuff from.
What was
my
your senior thesis?
I did Death and the Maiden.
Oh.
And I
A
adapted
modern work.
a modern work. They argued with me for a
I was
long
going to
time.
say, how did you do the classical school, especially the classical school of the empty space theater? How
Yeah.
did they feel about
They
that?
did not like it. The way that the system works is that, like, in order to do like your senior play, you have to like bring it to Mr. and Mrs. Kelly and get them to approve it, right? And you're supposed to bring like 2 or 3 plays
Oh, man.
and have them like planned out a little bit to show them what you're going to do with them, right?
Yeah.
So you're really pitching it, but I'm not one to do what people tell me to. So
Yeah.
I came in with one idea and told them this is what I was going to do. And the play was written in 1991.
Oh,
They
so
hadn't done
sure.
stuff that was like in the 1900s ever.
Oh.
Never mind, like.
How about that? Switching it up.
And they were like, absolutely not. You can't do this. Come back with another one. And I was like, okay, cool. And then at my next appointment, I came back and I was like, so here's the same play. I want to do it. And they're like, listen, fine. If you want to do it, you just have to rewrite it. And so they made me rewrite this play that had been written in 1991. That was made into a movie with Sigourney Weaver and Ben Kingsley, by the way. Everyone can watch it. And he made me rewrite it. And I did. And I was a messed up little, drama student. So I made it extra messed up. And then I made
Like
3
any drama
actors
student should.
play the roles. And one of the girl who I put in the middle of the role, and it was like a crazy weird like torture play about war and stuff. It was not good. And that girl never did theater again after that play. So
Wow, you traumatized her out of an art.
I did. And I'm not saying that I'm proud of it, but I'm a little proud of it.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're like, okay, so you want to be an artist, huh?
The other guy. who
Welcome
was
to
in
the
it,
darkness.
He
Got
actually
cookies.
got very.
There's cookies
furious.
after.
He had never been in a play before and did my play, and then when I saw him on his senior year, he was wearing a black turtleneck. He was so artsy.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh, hello.
Two
Saved
steps.
your life.
2 steps
Yeah.
away from beret.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's warm in Texas, time
Yeah.
for a beret.
Yeah, it's tough to wear
You
a
need to have a lot
turtleneck
of-
too.
Yeah, you're right.
You got to be committed
Hey,
to
I
your
survived through
Was
my
it a?
teen phase wearing all black in a Texas summer. Come on,
Was
be
it
dedicated
yeah,
enough.
yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Oh no, like I'm a
What kind of
tech.
winner are you?
Like we live
Come
in
on.
black.
Are you punk or not?
Yeah, like I got 3 weeks of black clothes because of my job.
You wear a different kind of black.
I do,
You're
I do.
you're the tech guy black. Not I'm so sad.
Not
I'm
dour
trying to get
black.
my skin as pale as
Listen
possible.
to Panic at the Disco.
Oh, I just saw
Joy.
The Used recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went out to dinner and I found out that they were playing across the street. So
That's cool.
I went. Me and my boyfriend. We didn't have anything to do, so we decided to go live out.
Where was that?
They were at the House of Blues.
Oh, groovy.
So we just found out and just got in line, got tickets, and
Yeah,
they played all the throwback songs.
Nice.
And I got to crowd surf. It was
Sweet.
pretty exciting. So I felt like my 14-year-old self again.
That's great.
You know.
That's great. I love shows like that where you get to go back and check out some stuff.
Oh yeah, just unexpectedly too.
Mm-hmm.
It's really fun.
Yeah, I was a little upset actually. Parliament Funkadelic was just in town in Austin, and I didn't get to go see that.
Dead and Company is next week in Austin.
I know. Yeah, I was actually trying to get them to come to be on the Talking Sound podcast.
Oh man,
Because I'm actually LinkedIn connections with Bob Weir's tour manager.
Oh, Bob Weir.
So yeah. I'm glad I gave you an appreciation for that.
Oh, of course.
Dalbus loves the Grateful Dead. He falls asleep to it. Like, you having problems, throw some Dead on. He'll be out in like 15 minutes.
Excited for Christmas then.
Right?
He'll appreciate his featured guest.
Nice. Yeah. I don't know. And there's an odd interim between Halloween and Christmas in America. You know, like we used to talk about it on the radio show I was on years ago, where like Halloween night, if you go out, like even before Halloween now, like when Halloween stuff comes out, there's Christmas decorations at Walmart.
Oh yeah.
You know, like
day of Halloween, they're already.
They don't even like super sale it anymore. They just get it out of the way. They just like put it like in a bulldozer and just push it off to the side in the aisle.
Yep.
It's crazy.
I was so sad this year. I decorated so much. I went to the whole nines. I'm excited. I live in this neighborhood where there's little children running around all the time. And we had one trick-or-treater. And I could not believe it. It was the Astros, though. Astros took over.
Yeah. The Astros kind of rolled over Halloween this year here in town. That's for sure.
So luckily, I have all this Halloween candy I'm still eating. You know?
Nice. Yeah.
Because no kids came, so I get all these temporary tattoos and cool little nerds and stuff.
Right. and Dalbus just joined the conversation.
Hey, Dalbus.
Yeah, in case you hear a baby.
You're
not hallucinating.
He just pulled up. How you doing, little man?
Sup?
Yeah, he just got up from his nap. He's looking sharp.
Yeah.
There's a puppy dog onesie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's as cute as you want it to be, radio
It's
listener.
anywhere you want him to be is where his hair is.
He's
got the Yahoo Serious look going. It's just everywhere.
He has tiny hair. It just can't
everywhere.
stay down.
It's just everywhere.
He's relaxed. Leave him alone. He wants to have hair like his mom everywhere.
Yeah.
Not really a hair having a place.
Yeah.
Little peach fuzz.
So, yeah,
You guys
we
get
were
to
talking.
Black Friday?
We were talking about the interim between Halloween and Christmas, and how it's just like there is none. There is none. The only thing that is the differentiation that lets you know something else happened is Black Friday. Like,
Well, I mean, I think
used to be Thanksgiving was like a really huge family celebration, things like that. It is still the busiest travel day of the year, but yeah, I don't think that Thanksgiving is necessarily like the family tradition that it once was.
Well, I also
You know?
feel like, and I mentioned this before, and we don't have to talk about it in detail, but like the fact that like with the current political climate and the way things are going,
Oh,
that
God.
I don't think that it'll stay a holiday for a while.
Michael Cargill,
Like,
I
I feel like it's gonna phase out or be called like Family Day or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Our guest Michael Cargill from Central Texas Gunworks. I follow him on Facebook, and I love some of the things he does because he's a poker and a prodder. He's a member of the Log Cabin Republicans, you know, stuff like that. And just he was like, family Thanksgiving discussion topic. Should we take guns away from people who have suicidal tendencies? Have fun, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. It was like, whoa! Like deep table discussion time at the Thanksgiving table. But you know, like it's so true. Like look at the election this last year. I mean, even statisticians are saying that, and historians are saying we are closer to the point that we were as a country at the point of the Civil War than ever. Sure. And this last election showed us that, where family members don't talk to each other because of who they voted for.
Absolutely not.
Stuff like that. And it's crazy. It's wild.
Why sit in a room and get heated talking to a family member when you could just Facebook message them happy birthday when their birthday comes up and then, hey, you're alive.
Yeah. Yeah, why have an actual human conversation? And then we wonder why society is stymied, why we can't listen to each other's point of view on something and just appreciate an opinion.
I feel like a lot of that has to do with the algorithm universe we live in.
It does.
Everything that we are handed, everything we see is suited for us. It's picked based on whether or not we're going to like it. So we're used to liking stuff.
It's based on...
somebody swings up and says, hey, here's some thoughts that I have, and you don't like them. You're like, I'm not interested in not liking things. My life is already hard enough. I'm not going to waste my time. Or, alternately, it is, I am filled with the flame of rage that will descend upon thee. And I will tell you what you are wrong.
Type.
And then everybody spews hatred onto the internet.
Yeah.
I can't tell if history of our generation will be viewed as an insane, wild, constantly beating up each other sort of thing based on the internet, or if it'll disappear and the entire history of our time will be gone.
Well, it's kind of like you mentioned a few weeks ago. Just we have all kinds of random conversations at our house at breakfast and stuff like that.
Can't imagine.
And it was like the dystopian future scenario of they're digging through the rubble and they find a statue of Mickey Mouse. And then they find like another statue of Mickey Mouse and like all these small statues. And it's like, my God, they must have worshipped this mouse. You know, like this must have been their God.
Yeah.
Like what'll happen in 100 years if, you know, like just look at the short span and scope of history that we have now. Like, good God, people have forgotten the fact that the civil rights movement only happened 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Barely 50 years ago.
I really hope they come back and think Mickey Mouse really is the God.
I know, right? Wouldn't that be hilarious?
I'll wait for that.
We have a whole pantheon of gods, and it's all Disney. Like, the Little Mermaid is the queen of the sea. And
I waited my whole life for this.
Pluto just stays the same.
Well, think about it, actually.
The dog is the god of the underworld.
Further than 100 or so years, but hundreds of thousands when perhaps that section even of the United States is underwater.
Yeah.
And there are people who are deep diving and finding Disney World, right?
Yeah.
And they're like,
it's Atlantis.
Finding this place that supposedly existed.
Right.
You know? Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because, I mean, again, based on the way the books are and the way the internet is, we have no way of knowing if any amount of history from, like, I'm going to say 50, just because a lot of it has been thrown away. Our books have been thrown away and everything.
It's already, that's just it. It's already disposable.
If the files go away, they are going to make huge assumptions about what happened over the past
It's already disposable.
This is when I sit back and just enjoy the chaos.
Yeah. Well, you know, and it's one of those, like I've said for years, we need to stop getting rid of libraries. We need to stop defunding places that have physical books with pages that you turn. And good God, it just came out that, like, exactly like I said would happen when you give control of the internet to the FCC people. Like, they have started throttling it. They have started making it high-pay fast lanes. They have started making it to where all the people in rural America that were supposed to be getting internet and knowledge and everything else, sorry, you can't pay for it. So you aren't getting it. So now suddenly this bastion of free knowledge that was supposed to be had by everybody is going to only be had by people that can pay for it.
Is it wrong that I kind of like hope eventually the poverty level will go above us, and then I'll be able to live a free life without the internet.
Right?
Kind of sounds nice.
Well, I think quite honestly, the odds are much more probably within the next decade that we see kind of a Fight Club-esque reset. where literally it's gotten to a point that where it's gotten to a point that student loan debt has spiraled so far out of control, home debt has spiraled so far out of control, as well as people's credit card debt just living above their means. And the only way that we as a country can do anything is to fully hit the reset button on debt.
Yeah.
And to go personal debt amongst the country owed to the government, gone.
If that happens, I'm really happy I've been putting off my student loans.
Same.
Yeah. And that's the only way that it can happen. That's the only way that we will eventually get to the point of the economic stimulus that everybody's looking for with tax packages and stuff like that. Because it's great. Fantastic. $2,500 a month. That's what we're getting in a tax thing. So you know what that equivalates to? $100, people. You're getting $25 a week. That's what you're getting. You're getting $25 a week.
What is this money that you're quote?
The tax reform that they're getting ready to pass is.
What does that mean?
Like
no one's handing me $25.
No, but you'll be getting a tax credit of $2,500.
We're not normal. It doesn't matter to us.
Oh no, that's the thing. That's what the normal people are getting.
Right.
And people are like, yeah, $2,500. And it's like, no, bro. Like, break that down in real quick math. Like, that's not a whole lot of money. You know, you're talking about like $25 a week, something like that. It doesn't really change the way in which you will live your life. You know,
really
it's a drop in the bucket. It's a pittance to say, hey, everybody, shut up. Which kind of leads us right into the topic of Black Friday. Because we're talking about
$2,500.
Well, that's the thing. Like, you know, we as a society we've gotten this way, and we had the discussion on the way over here about raising Dalbus with the concept of gifting, and the concept of, you know, the holidays are about gift giving. It's not about bonanza. It's not about going and getting like 28 gifts from everybody and things like that. Like, let's take it old school, and they're like at birthdays, there's like 2 or 3 presents, you know, stuff like that.
No bonanza, kid.
No bonanza, bro. Life ain't a bonanza. Until you can afford the bonanza. You want to buy a bonanza when you got the money. Go bonanza, bro. This is America. Kick it.
Yeah. He's definitely like the chill look on this kid's face. He's either Matthew McConaughey or Rush Limbaugh. Hard to know.
Yeah.
No bonanza, kiddo.
Yeah.
He really, like, is trying. I love how he looks at each of us whenever we talk. Like, I'm a part of this conversation.
Oh, he is. Like, he is fully involved.
Mm-hmm.
He's fully involved.
Yeah, he's smart.
Yeah.
Black Friday is worse than, you know, the idea of, you know, a bonanza even.
Yeah.
Because not only is it a situation in which the stores provide deals that get prices that many people it's all that they can afford. It like causes people to fight over it.
Yes.
And it makes me sad not only that people are fighting over it because it's like, really, you don't need anything. Never mind that TV or that shirt or whatever. But I also understand the idea that it's like, if this is the only time they can afford stuff, it's like heartbreaking, the idea that like people who can afford whatever go and buy this stuff, and then, you know, it's just sort of like, it makes me feel sick, because it makes me feel like it's like, I don't know. I'm very negative. I'm terribly sorry.
No! Talk about it. Let it out.
I feel like Black Friday is like handout day. I feel like it's like, oh my god, you guys are so poor. You know what we're gonna do? Oh my god. It costs us literally 30 cents to make this TV, but we're gonna give it to you for the low price of $300. Oh my god, it's so cheap.
Do you mean
now.
that it's the equivalent of whenever the federal government in Russia back in the 70s and 80s would be like, hey everybody, it's toilet paper day. You don't have to stand in line and pay for it. Come stand in a longer line and we will give it to you.
I don't know if those are similar. But, I mean, like, yes.
Yeah.
But I feel like communist Russia a little different.
Quite different.
Just a touch.
A little more oppressive.
Teeny bit different.
Yeah.
I mean,
gulags.
I just don't like that people fight over these things.
Exactly.
They wait for months.
Months to fight over them.
Yeah.
But not only the like.
Your mom was a huge Black Friday shopper.
Still is, yeah.
She go out at like 5 a.m. man, like ready to kill
I
it.
already saw 2 days ago. I saw people in front of the Best Buy by my house with tents 2 days ago.
Yeah,
and like
to buy the new PlayStation.
Whatever the hell it is going to be on sale next month. Like
it's for the new PlayStation Virtual. There's a new virtual
unreal.
PlayStation
2 days ago. And
yeah,
it's Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Tense.
I hate.
It's what a turkey sandwich is for.
Morally superior, but I feel morally superior about the idea of this. And you know, I'm the worst, but at the same time, like I just feel like, why do we need those things? We don't need those things.
Yeah,
I mean, I get.
Well, and it
hurts me both
It's
ways.
like we said in the episode of Yes But Why podcast, when people see our life and they're like, "Oh my God, like how do you even attain that?" It quite literally is sitting down and going through a list of your life and your expenditures and going, "This is a want, not a need. This is a want, not a need." And removing those things and saying like, if we don't need that is an essential for survival, like food, heat, shelter, like, do we really need it? Or is it something that's there just because we want it? Which is cool.
Temporary happiness.
But like, one of the first hip hop bands I was ever into was Boogie Down Productions. And I gotta thank my mother. She bought me the edited version of Edutainment. But there was a song in there called Love's Gonna Get You. And it starts off with, oh, I love my car, or I love my chain, or I'm just in love with that girl over there. You got to be careful how you use the word love, because eventually it'll get you. And when you say like, oh my God, I love my TV, like when you start to love, or like exactly like he says in it, when you start to like or want a material item over a person or over a connection with people, that's when you need to get worried, like as a person. Because when you like or want something more than you do a connection with physical people around you, your family, things like that, like that's a point of obsession. That's a point of addiction almost.
I'll speak for my generation.
Do it.
Yeah, we don't see that personal connection anymore. It's strictly just. I mean, I personally.
How often are you around the table with your friends on your phone, talking with your friends?
Well, first of all, it's quality, not quantity, so it's a rare occasion.
Also, it's not just phones are not just generational.
No.
Believe you me.
No.
Finish what you were saying.
Yeah.
But so say for myself, I just got the newest iPhone. Like that
Sure.
is like, oh, I love it. I have to have it. But when's the last time I sat down and hung out with a group of people and we played card games? Like, I can't recall a time I was ever hanging out with anyone. We were just having a conversation or watching a movie.
Yeah, when the
together,
last time that was.
Yeah. 5-6 years ago. Like, it doesn't happen. Like,
Yeah.
if we're hanging out, we're gonna have to go do something. We're gonna go shopping. We're gonna go please ourselves with,
It's gotta be
that temporary happiness.
It's gotta be an event.
Oh, yeah. It's gotta be something. It's gotta be Instagrammable. It's gotta be look how cool she is on social media.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And see, like
That's
that.
really it. That's it.
And like for me, I remember being your age, and a lot of what I did was literally just like go to somebody's house and hey, we sat down with like a notebook and we wrote poetry and like swapped poetry and like drank beer,
Yeah, that doesn't
stuff
happen.
like that. I know it's dorky as hell, but it's absolutely true. That's what we
I
did.
hung
Like
out with the same people in
me-
college you did.
me and
You're
Billy-
like, let's go hang out with these guitars on that field. You're like,
Yeah.
all right.
Even me and Billy here in town, like 3/4 of the time, whenever I'd go hang out with Billy, I'd go pick him up, and we'd go to JoJo's right down the road from his house, and we'd sit there and drink coffee and write poetry or just talk, whatever.
Yeah, but we don't do that now. You know what I mean? Like we sit in the house, we watch movies. Like,
Well, yeah, but we take time to talk. We take time to have conversations. Now we take time to do stuff like this, where it's even being on each other's shows. You know, but we definitely have time where we sit and talk.
you have to admit though that it precisely is exactly the Instagrammable moment that Megan's
Sure.
talking about, though.
Absolutely.
Very navel gazing that our conversation matters in any way, and we're doing it and presenting it, and it does. People listen to it, and I'm happy to share with people. But at the same time, it's like, you know, it's not a generational thing that
It
it's
isn't.
gotten to the point
It
where
isn't.
we've all become a little bit distant from
Yeah.
each other.
I watch people
And I'm fine.
take like 10 minutes to set up something. So say right now I were to take a picture like, hey, podcast, like really cool.
Yeah.
Right.
I will watch people take 10 minutes to make sure everything in the picture
Like spaced
area
out.
looks exactly like just aesthetically pleasing, and it's just like it's
Okay,
unreal.
that's a little narcissistic.
No, I
a little,
seriously
like-
see
I wish I
this.
knew what that was.
This is
Narcissistic?
No, I wish I knew like how to make stuff look aesthetically pleasing.
like
I'm just like chaos is fun.
Like I cannot understand how people really push that extra time in their day to like make sure things.
And-
I mean, good. Your life's organized, I guess. You
And
know,
why is
but,
it
like,
well? And why is it a necessity? Why is it prioritized
because
amongst life?
people rely on those likes for their happiness. Like
Wow.
the more likes you get, like
That's-
I get to look at my phone again. Like I got another
And that's
like.
I
got
can't
another comment.
I
Oh,
can't
someone
tell you
shared
what
my
it's like
post.
to have somebody your age, Megan, come on and actually share that, because
It's
that's
true.
It's
guilty
something.
of it to some
It's something
extent.
that I've said for a while, and it is the fact that like it's a psychological meme that happens with these social media, with Twitter, with everything else. I'm just as guilty of checking things and posting things en masse on Dudes and Beer to share information with people.
Oh, of course, that's how you get your information out there. But when
Yeah.
you're just hanging out with someone, like me and my friend, we went to a local beer garden. We had a beer, and there were these girls around us, and they were moving around, making sure the chairs were all positioned around them. They double-checked their hair like 5 or 6 times. They had that whole light-up thing around their phone, so their lighting was perfect for their picture before they took
Oh my
the
God,
picture
oh my
to
God.
go live stream it.
It reminds me. Do you watch Orange Is the New Black
I've seen the
on
first season.
Netflix? Remember the last season of Orange Is the New Black where they were walking around in the prison during the riot, like doing the. Like they had the cell
doing their
phone and they were
Facebook
doing
Live,
doing
yeah.
like a Facebook Live all the time. Like, do I
yeah.
look good? Do I look good?
They
Because
have to-
all these people were liking them.
Yeah, yeah, that's really it. Likes their happiness, and that's when you really like.
Wow.
I mean,
How do you
think
feel
that
about that?
It's we gotta deal with it. Like, I mean, it's just how it is, and one day people are gonna realize that they're freaking depressed because they're not getting likes anymore, and like they lost 100 followers on their Instagram. Like they said one bad thing that was annoying, or they
Yeah.
decided to post too much about a breakup, and then they got all these people to unfollow them, and then now they're sad because no one's liking their posts anymore. Like,
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean-
well, and I mean, it's even gone to the point now, especially in schools and stuff, with cyberbullying and everything else, where, like, you know, kids are facing it on Facebook and Twitter and stuff
No,
like
it's
that
just
on
a
the
cool
daily.
thing to be depressed, like on Twitter. I mean, that's really what
Well,
it is.
yeah, I mean, I don't know a
It's
teenager
awful,
that isn't
yeah.
ready to be dour. You know?
Awful.
You get to a certain age, though, and then they expect you to be the opposite. So
Yeah.
And then all your posts have to be about how everything's great. So I don't think I've posted. I have a curated personality on Facebook that's just
really?
things are great, everything's wonderful.
Oh,
I don't think a person
everyone
would know.
ever on Facebook.
Yeah.
Look
It's
how
like,
good
no.
my life is. Aren't you jealous? Don't
Yeah.
you just want to comment and tell me how good everything looks? And wow, looks like you're so happy.
Yeah.
You're not jealous of my life, Megan?
I wish I could never post, but
Be jealous of my debt.
Yeah.
But
As long
people
as
like
you
this baby.
as long as you post that you're still eating out, no one's gonna care about your debt. Like, oh, they're still doing so much. Wow, it must be so nice. Like, you know, fuck it, we're all in debt. Like,
They eat at Chili's? Oh my goodness. I see how the other half lives.
I used to eat at Chili's.
I ate at Chili's the other night, but you know what? Like, that's another thing. Like, everyone still eats at Chili's, but you take that one picture where you don't get the menu or anything, but you have this margarita, and you're, oh, look at my margarita, so cute. I'm classy. I spent $10 on this. You know,
Yeah.
like, I'm out here living life, like my things.
Like me, love me.
Yeah, that's really it. We all just need attention so bad.
We do.
Do you think that's why people beat each other up when they're buying things on Black Friday? Or is it just because they create this scarcity myth in this moment?
I think it's that, but they're hoping someone's going to whip out their phone so their video of someone whooping someone's ass can go on World Star and they can make some money from
Oh
it.
yeah, no, don't get me
I
wrong.
wonder.
I literally want to go out the day after and just film shit and just post it. You know,
No, oh, well, I feel like a lot of people
just shoot
do
B-roll and sell it to the news.
Are you gonna shoot B-roll, baby? Is that B for baby?
Yeah,
right,
look at that
that's
smile.
right.
Hey,
Oh, he's a sweet baby boy.
handsome.
He doesn't care about Black Friday. He says, whatever you get me, Mama, sounds good. Okay, that's nice.
That's such
That's
a
right.
nice state of bliss.
It is nice. I'm going to be honest with you. All the gifts that he received since his birth, I haven't shown all of them to him because I haven't needed to. He hasn't really known what things were
Yeah,
until
that's
recently.
great.
So I have this container of just like toys and stuff, and I'm like one by one being like, check this out. What?
That's what I do for my dog when I give her squeaky toys.
Yeah. Dogs and babies, very
Yeah.
similar, very
she,
similar.
She has one toy and she's happy with it and she's good until it's completely torn up, and I'll give her a couple days without a toy and I'm like, okay, bring in the next one.
Right.
Give all your attention to it until it's completely torn apart.
Yep.
As she struggles to get her hips in the door.
I do that myself. Like, I'll buy myself stuff and then, sort of give it, allow
Like,
myself
over
to
time,
use it
yeah.
over time or whatever.
Yeah.
Though, honestly, a lot of the stuff is, like, I get something and then I'm like, sweet, let's wear it forever. Like this shirt that I'm wearing.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, this is my new favorite shirt. I'm wearing it all the time.
Oh yeah, I get something for myself and I wear it till it's just like, well, I guess I got this a month ago, but it's pretty worn out now.
Yeah.
But,
And that's just it. Like, just recently, I sent.
Everything's frayed. What happened?
I became a long time
these people
ago.
didn't see me in this shirt. I can wear it again tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's fine. They'll recognize me now because I'll be the girl in that shirt.
Like, I realized a long time ago that it was much better, and I guess it came from my grandfather's teaching, from Dalbus, the wisdom of the Dalbus Senior, of use it until you can't use it.
Yeah.
You know, like even here lately, like we haven't retired a computer in our house in I don't know how long, because they all just get repurposed for other stuff. You know, like they, oh well, look, I can get more memory for it. I can do this. I can upgrade it. You know,
Thank God
and
he knows how to change the insides of computers.
but like even Ricky's computer, my cousin Ricky, who gave me a computer a few years ago, whenever he bought one. And he was like, oh, it's like 5 years old. Worked perfectly fine. And it like the screen even stopped working. And I removed the screen and used an external screen with it. And it worked fine until just the other day. And he was like, oh, my God, that thing lasted forever. I was like, yeah, it was like 11 years, man. Like that laptop lasted for 11 years before it finally went kaput. But you got to be willing to keep using it for 11 years and not buy into the mentality of I need to buy a new computer every 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, you just upgraded my computer. My dad bought me a computer right after I got out of college, and Chris has just upgraded it over and over, and I graduated college in 2000, so
yep.
It's an old box that's got a bunch of new stuff in it.
And it's got everything possible, everything that you need. It's got Windows 10. It's got all the upgraded software, everything. Mm-hmm. So, excuse me. We do live in, I think, what's become a disposable society. And like Megan said, a society where we're more concerned about the prima facie of things, where we're much more concerned about what people see on the outside than what we actually are, I don't
know. I mean, I feel like what with the recent sexual abuse situations that are going on in the news, where people are getting called out for being jerks, that perhaps the kind of person you
allegations
are could be, become important.
Yeah.
In the world. Who knew? But, people seem to care. So if that's the case, perhaps it will raise a certain, let's all be nice to each other, all right then? And maybe we will.
Yeah. And we hope so.
Yeah, I don't know how it's going to go, honestly.
Yeah, it would be nice. Wishful thinking.
The tones of lack of hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you hope so. But, I mean, the fact, go back and read any philosopher. We are inherently corrupt individuals. We are inherently corrupt beings. It takes all that we can do to fight that nature of being corrupt, of taking the easy way out, of pointing and laughing at people around us.
It really is.
It really does boil down to that. You hear me say it around the house all the time. Sarcasm is such the low-hanging fruit. But it's so easy. Even monkeys know that low-hanging fruit will get you drunk because it's full of all kinds of overripe juices and things like that. What's the hangover like? And as a society, when we choose the low-hanging fruit, and we keep choosing the low-hanging fruit, when it is about the quick jab on the news, when it is about that quick jab at a candidate, and I'm not saying that any of the Roy Moore stuff isn't true. I'm not saying that any of the allegations out there aren't true, but they are allegations. Until we get to the point of conviction, until we get to the point of getting down to the truth. Now, people that have come out like Louis C.K. and said, yes, I did these things, I apologize. People like Al Franken who have come out and said, yes, I did these things and I apologize. And even called for his own investigation. I call for an ethics investigation into me. You got to kind of tip your hat to that. But other than that, they are allegations until proven in a court of law. So, we have to be careful as a society not to choose that low-hanging fruit all the time, whether it's the low-hanging fruit of judgment of other people, no matter how they live their life. If they're a sexual abuser, absolutely. Let's find out more information, and as long as things check out, they need to be punished to the fullest extent of the law, and we need to get rid of that.
Just to clarify, though, the idea of sexual abuse is not a low-hanging fruit.
No.
The idea of the low-hanging fruit has to do with making the easy joke, taking the easy way, being a jerk because it's easier to be a jerk.
Yeah.
So in this particular scenario, I wouldn't use that phrase.
Yeah, I guess
you'd
that's
be
true.
Misunderstood as a sympathizer to gentlemen who like to put their penises in ladies' faces when they're not interested.
Yeah,
and
which
you're
I'm
not that kind of person.
I am not that person.
But in the interest of an idiom going wrong, just to clarify.
Yeah.
Just say one thing, and you just don't pay attention halfway through.
That's it.
Now you did it.
Yeah, that's it.
Hey,
You're ruined.
It's
I heard
wild
it.
Life.
I can twist your words. Just one word. One word.
Chris Jordan likes those people. Yeah. That's
it's. It's a weird world. for sure about the extra carefulness for sure.
Yeah.
Funness.
But I mean, one hopes that there can be some lessons learned at least. Maybe just in the movie industry, maybe nowhere else, maybe not in the movie industry. I don't know.
It's in numerous industries. I mean, good God, like I said, did anybody? I mean, when was it that we forgot that the people in Congress and the House of Representatives were not above this? You know, like, does nobody remember like 1989 and the Pepsi Cola and pubic hair and things like that? You know, did we just forget that stuff?
I forgot it. What are you talking about?
My God, I'm trying to remember his name now. Not Marion Barry. Marion Barry was the crack smoking mayor of D.C. But it was, I want to say it was a judge. Was it Marion Barry? No, I can't remember.
You were just very upset everyone
just Google
forgot
pubic
about
hair
it.
and Pepsi, and you'll find it.
What's up?
Guaranteed. Herman
Clarence
King.
Thomas.
Clarence Thomas. Judge Clarence Thomas.
Can of Coke.
That's what it was. It was a can of Coke. Can of Coke. Not new Coke. Classic.
I don't know. I can't be sure.
But yeah, like people forget that kind of stuff, and that's pretty recent history. Like, that's the 90s. You know,
I mean,
that
it's
was
the
like
first time I'm hearing
89,
about
90.
this.
Well, you weren't born.
Yeah.
So, but people like me who were just around voting age when it happened, that were like 15, 16 years old, like, that was top of the pops, man. That was like happening news. You know, that there was a judge out there that was sexually harassing his secretary, and a federal judge at that.
Hey, my generation's first voting experience was this past election, so...
Yeah, how was that for you?
I'd rather talk about more positive things.
Interesting to say the least.
Does anybody intend to have any like Christmas shopping things that they're like excited to look for? Or I know we just had a
Good shit
microwave
for cheap.
purchase here.
Yeah. I'm much more of a fan of Cyber Monday. I like the Cyber Monday concept because, as you know, I'm a big online shopper. Love deals like that, and it's pretty wild because like Cyber Monday things go on sale like every hour.
Sure.
You know, it's like you'll get alerts, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Alice loves this idea.
Yeah, it's great.
It's like-
I know, son. It's cool. And you don't have to stand in line.
What a genius idea.
But it is one of those, like, you go on Amazon and it's like, hey, we got 100 of these TVs, and they're like $59. You know? That kind of stuff.
Same concept,
What
just
a
no
deal.
throwing
I know.
elbows.
I know, Dallas. What a deal.
Yeah, no trampling over each other. And, you know, that's just it. Like, if you look back at it, all that really started, and I think we were talking about it recently, Amy, with the with the rage of stuff like Teddy Ruxpin in the mid '80s, Cabbage Patch Kids, things like that, is where that and Air Jordan shoes, where that mob mentality of like, yeah, there's only certain number in each store, you know, and yeah, like I remember people punching each other in the face over a Cabbage Patch doll.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to Toys R Us to buy a doll for your little girl.
I wish I was that enthusiastic about something.
And you're going to punch them in the
Yeah.
face
My
to get a
parents
doll.
went to the Bahamas.
Did they buy you a Bahamian Cabbage Patch doll?
They did. We
Oh.
got Cabbage Patch dolls
Oh.
from the Bahamas.
Is it a
They
banana
didn't
patch?
have
Banana
anywhere-
Patch doll? Is that what it was?
I don't think it was racist like you're being. No.
I'm not being racist.
It was.
They don't have a lot of cabbage.
Listen, they had to go to the
Spicy.
Bahamas to get them because there weren't any around, and they also.
Oh, so they illegally imported a toy for you
No.
for Christmas.
Why?
Nice. Nice. You're gonna get my mother arrested? Oh my god. How dare you?
See,
I'm
this
just
is-
saying.
That's that
They
millennial
were
mentality. Right
traveling to, it was a province or something. It's an outer lying island of the U.S. Shut. They went on a trip and they came back with some Cabbage Patch Kids.
They came back with like a crate of Cabbage Patch
That's
children.
not what I'm saying. Ruined my story. I'm trying to say that they went somewhere
And got you
and
something
got
nice.
something- No, meaning that it was so scarce in the area that they had to go far, far away to get it. And that they did, because apparently as a child they needed that thing. I don't even know where it is now.
You needed
No,
it
I'm
so
gonna be
bad
honest,
that your parents had
I
to go
bet
to the
it's-
Bahamas.
But I bet it's in the house still.
Must be nice.
It's probably in the basement. Everything we've ever owned is in the basement of
Right.
my childhood home.
That
It's like a museum to the mid-'80s. Legit.
Just go ahead and put some wallpaper up too, you know?
Yeah,
Oh,
some
there's
tack
wallpaper.
paper. Put
Oh,
some
yeah.
tack paper
There's
up.
wallpaper in my house that looks like wood. It's like it's wood paneling on the walls.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I can't wait to see wood paneling. We're going to Boston for Christmas.
It's gonna be great.
So I'm so excited.
It's gonna be great.
And I can't wait to look at that wood paneling.
Right?
Oh man.
Well, on that note, Dalbus is yawning. I have things on the stove that need to get ready to come off the stove here in just a couple minutes. So, on that note, everybody, thank you very much for tuning into this kitchen side episode of the Dudes and Beer podcast for Thanksgiving. Thank you very much to Megan Fries for coming on and contributing to the conversation. Dalbus, your dream as always on the sidelines, my friend.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Amy, happy Thanksgiving. I love you. I'm so happy for you.
Don't throw elbows.
Don't throw bows tomorrow, people. Be nice. Be real. Be real to each other.
Hug
Remember
each other.
that if you don't get it, it's okay. You know, hey,
Go to the Bahamas and
believe
get
it.
that Cabbage Patch dog.
Believe it. That's right. Take a Bahamian trip. Smuggle, a whole crate of Cabbage Patch children. So yeah, don't go crazy. Don't be hurting people. Don't be running people over in the mall to go get your deals. If you don't get it, believe it or not, like if you're out shopping for Christmas, they probably didn't even freaking know you were getting it for them anyway. So just let it slide. On that note, everybody, please do remember, if you can't be good at it. Take care of each other and the whole world. Yeah. Let's have a great Thanksgiving.
Everybody.
We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye, everybody. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Dudes and Beer podcast. To listen to our audio streams and chat with us live, download the official Dudes and Beer app for both Android and iDevices, available on the Google Play and iTunes markets. For more episodes, content, and information, visit us online at dudesandbeer.com. You can also find our episodes on Spreaker, SoundCloud, YouTube, Stitcher, or your favorite podcast service. Thanks for listening, everybody. And until next time, drink responsibly.